Hi, everybody. Welcome back to a second episode of Yeoman's Work. This episode will play some more Diamond Mine baseball. We've got some more video archived footage to show you, prospects relevant to this year's draft. And we'll go through the draft board a little bit. I'll talk you through why guys are where they are, and kind of go in depth on some of the players who have moved, especially based on what they did this spring. But first, this is being recorded. This is pretty late Sunday night, and it feels oddly dismissive and callous not to talk about what's going on in the world at this time. This is being recorded in the middle of a global pandemic, and at a time where here in the United States there's great civil unrest over continued killing of our African American citizens. That often has little to no repercussion for those who perpetrate it. And those who perpetrate it are often law enforcement. It's bad. This is a persistent issue that's been a part of the fabric of our country as it was being constructed. And it continues to be in a different way. And yet it's the same way. Here in Phoenix last night, the downtown Phoenix protest was unbelievable. Overwhelmingly peaceful, well organized, moving. And then in Scottsdale, at the Fashion Square Mall, there was just looting. And if people are looking for a way to not engage with this, to dissociate in a way, and continue to remain ignorant to this problem that manifests in this very ugly way where people die and there are no repercussions, there's no accountability for it, then they will feel free to look at the people looting and do that. And I just got to tell you, I continue to be impressed by young people who, that's what they are to me now. You know, there's like a 10-ish year gap between me and them. And it's enough now that I notice it. And, I have to say during the pandemic, most of the folks in my grocery store and around, the indoor parts of the world that I've had to engage with during the last couple months, most of the folks not wearing masks have been middle-aged white dudes. So you can guess what that's about. And young folks. So I'm frustrated with the young folks for that. I get it. You don't know what it feels like for it to start to slip yet. You don't know how fragile you are yet. That's part of the reason you're out there protesting too. And so it's the same trait that's driving behavior that for the last couple months I found very frustrating, and then over the weekend I admired. And so yeah. Two of the kids that I coached in high school basketball back in Pennsylvania, which, by the way, is like one of the... Pennsylvania is so gerrymandered. Two of the kids I coached on the high school basketball team there either are already or want to be police officers. And one of them, it makes me so happy that this is the type of person who wants to be a police officer. There are very few of the kids who I coached, who are now young men, who I would rather want in a position of responsibility than this young man, who is just a really excellent young person. And the other one, I wouldn't let him drive a friend of mine in his car from here to there. He is so uninterested in the rest of the world, lacks any modicum of curiosity, and I think it's a real red flag, because when you get dropped into a black, or in Phoenix, more likely a Hispanic neighborhood, and you're a country boy from Pennsylvania who has shown no curiosity about the rest of the world, you're going to feel like you're on a different planet. And the way you react is going to be much different than no matter what kind of training you've had. And so, yeah, again, this is not official FanGraphs statements. This is just me addressing a thing. Of course there are good police officers, of course. And of course there are people out here who are taking advantage of this situation, either to do something chaotic and inflame this conflict subversively, which is fucking evil, or there are people who are out here to take advantage of the fact that they feel like they have an excuse to loot. They are a minority and being shouted down by 99% of the people who are trying to get a very poignant and important message across. And that is what we need to focus on. And look, hey, fellow white people, we have to step up too. We all need to vote in November. A lot of the country is out of work. And so maybe the fact that we're all thinking and talking about the same thing at once right now will ultimately be good, but right now it's pretty ugly. And I don't, the reform of the way our country is policed and how militarized our police are probably needs reform. We've got stuff to work on. That's okay, but we need to be honest about that and engage with it. Okay, let's talk about some baseball stuff. I do want there to be baseball, guys, but there are things that are more important than it, more important than, my job and this website existing. The baseball labor situation. If there's no baseball season this year for reasons that eventually lead to a labor environment that better exemplifies what I want the world at large to be, then that's probably good. We just need to realize, I think, that we're floating on this rock in the middle of vast nothingness together. It's a miracle that we're here. And we should try to do our best to support one another and propagate our collective existence together. All right, so Sybil stuff. Here's the site again, blueknight.com/CIBL. It's Continental Internet Baseball League. This is the Sim League I'm in, Diamond Mine Baseball. Meg is in the league too. She's a rookie in the league. And my buddy Bill Mitchell, who lives a mile from me for now. It was a super weird week in the Longenhagen house. I have to move. My landlord is selling this house because of their financial issues. So it's going to be the draft and then a quick move for your boy. But since we last saw one another, A couple weeks have gone by. We had a week break for Memorial Day. And here's the status of my division here, right? So highly competitive division. I'm one game back of Serenity Valley, which is about where I've been for the last little while. We have a series this week against the California Red-Legged Frogs, who lead the Eastern Division, but are a 500 team. Okay. As I said, today's video archive footage is on the draft. So I've got Spencer Torkelson highlight reel. Just the good stuff, not all the swings, not for the purposes of evaluation. It's just the good stuff from the last 2-ish years of watching Spencer Torkelson, which was incredible. So yeah, I will see you at the Game 1 lineup screen. Okay. Here we are at Game 1 lineup screen. We're squaring off against Jeff Hoffman, who definitely don't look up all the things I've ever written about Jeff Hoffman. I was once very high on Jeff Hoffman. Yeah, I saw him at East Carolina his draft year. They were playing Virginia. Connor Jones was a freshman. Nathan Kirby. Those UVA teams, Derek Fisher. The UVA team was loaded. And I thought Hoffman looked like 1-1. Certainly he was better than Carlos Rodon was a couple weeks after that. And I really thought Hoffman had it just on talent. Could have gone 1-1 before he blew out. So against him, this is my standard versus righties lineup. I'm going to remove Casale. I picked up Sandy Leone, as I said I would in episode 1. So here he is, the new starting catcher. Do I want to... Freddie Galvis? I really want someone on the bench who can punish righties too. And if I can avoid using Brasso, I'd like to, because his usage against righties is just, a teensy bit high. So I'm just going to leave Solak on the bench in the event that I have like a high leverage at bat versus a righty. In the 7, 8, or 9 hole, I could just stick him in there. And then you saw our opponent's lineup. Here it is. The Red-Legged Frogs, as I said, first in their division, but hovering around 500. Some of the league chatter. I've talked with Meg about trading for Michael Lorenzen under the guise of calling to ask about Raisel Iglesias. And we're 2 rounds apart. Well, maybe we're a round apart on compensation. I offered a 5 and she wants a 3. So trying to work on that, because I really am not satisfied with my bullpen in this game. So then what is it that we think went wrong with Hoffman? Is it just cores? Is it just not a great fit with the dev group with Colorado and Hoffman? Is it the type of guy who's, breaking ball forward profile in college who really just didn't belong in Albuquerque and Denver? Maybe. think it's also possible that he's just the type of guy who... Let's see, do we have the... I wonder if this is incriminating. I'll pull it up on my phone. I kind of wonder what Hoffman's fastball shape is. But yeah, it's been frustrating to watch him not develop. And I'm still hopeful that maybe a change of scenery unlocks something. But it's been a while now. Opponent's middle infield is slick, like Swanson and Wong up the middles. That'd be fun to watch. And Marisnik in center. You guys can go get it. They're as good as Teoscar Hernandez is bad at playing defense. Man, what else has been going on? I've been obviously prepping for draft stuff, finishing up the last of the org lists. Working on the Brewers right now. Trying to decide how into Max Laser I am. Hopefully that'll be done and published on Tuesday. And then the last couple I'll try to crank out before the draft so that the drafted players can just slot right into the org list very quickly. All right, so we 2-out double to Freddie Freeman. Now Mitch Garver is up. Absolutely demolishes lefties. Desmond is on deck. Man, him too. Well, I'm not very well going to pitch around 2 guys just to try to get to Marisnik. That seems kind of foolish. Or it'd be 3 guys, wouldn't it? Yeah. I am going to try to see if Garver will get himself out if I pitch around him. Maybe that's not the right way to phrase it, but it worked. Okay. I'll let you see the heart of the order hit here. And then as we enter the middle innings with a 1-0 lead and things settle in, you'll next see me when things get dicey. All right, smash cut here to the bottom of the 7th. Paxton's up. He's coasting, but he is through 7. He's thrown 91 pitches. I've got 2 on and 1 out. I really just kind of feel like I want to put it away if I can. So here's what I'm going to go get Solak to hit in this spot. Yeah, all right, that's fine. Gibson, I am worried about rolling into a double play. So maybe I'll start the runners. Let's see how this goes first. See what happens. Well, Okay, now to replace Solak. Desmond, Teoscar, and Marisnik are due up. So let's go with a righty. I've brought Urquidy up from the minors. Yeah, let's lead with that. Let's do that. I drafted Urquidy and Puck pretty early in this year's draft, which was the plan was to use them as relievers on my team this year. So I was bullpen needy. And then just, they were two likely, I guess, growth assets, I guess is the way of putting it. Who are likely to start most of, if not all of 2020 and have real trade value, or at least bolster my pitching depth. I've got a lot of older arms who might get hurt too. Okay, we're through 8. I feel pretty good about us tacking on some insurance in this inning. Just with the top going. Chapman's got a double and a bomb. Okay. Let's see who they pinch it with. Billy McKinney. So left, right, left, left. Stands have pretty significant splits. His numbers are just pretty good. But I'm going to make the move here to a lefty. Nuke or Rogers? Where are we in the 8th? I think let's go with Rogers. I'm going to go with Rogers here just because there's less a chance that things implode. Newcomb, you could see walking 2 guys, and then all of a sudden the tying run is up, and it's like Freddie Freeman or something, and that seems bad. This is where the string of lefties that I'm going to need to face are going to come into play, and so I'm just going to go at him with my most consistent lefty arm. Sure. No, we. All right. So now I'm definitely going to have to make a move here. The tying run is in scoring position. I need to go right on right for sure. Okay. This is where I just wish I had someone who I could throw in and end the game. And it's clear I don't right now. And the talk radio people in my market are making more and more noise about it. Is it a fucking bat in my house? What is that? There's a giant moth? It is fucking huge. And it is in my house, and my cats are flipping out. Let me see if I... Oh my god. Get it, Archie. Good job. You can eat it. Go ahead, dude. Yeah, just eat it. That's fine. Great. Cats are the best. What happened? Garver singled. Dude. Lock it down. I have no doubt that you can hear this thing flapping on the microphone. Now my cat's carrying it around in his mouth. Dude, finish him. You guys could not believe how large this moth is. Where's the high speed? I'm coming back on playing. What happened? Anything? Jesse Winker's shitting? Okay. It's so big. Okay. All right. I've collected the moth. It is the biggest moth I've ever seen. Its wings. It's probably like a 4-ish inch wingspan. It's like the size of like. Its thorax is the size of like a pack of like Starburst. Not a bigger one, but like one of the three Starburst little shots. What happened here? Shit. Okay. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna just continue holding this moth, which is on one of Archie's stuffed animals. He lost track of it, and it's being calm on one of. It's, I don't know. He has a little giraffe that he does sexual stuff with, I think. It sounds sexual. So I'm just holding him off. My oblivious cat son is like 3 feet away. Trying to get to Miguel Castro. What a weird weekend. Come on, Freddy. All right. Well, now we're gonna go to extras, and I'm gonna run to the front door and try to throw this out the door as the text is running for Urias's bat. You're gonna hear my door. Here we go. Okay. Thank you for your patience and for your continued understanding of my acceptance of my eccentricity. There. All right. Cam Bedrosian. And then the pitcher spot. We're going to hit for the pitcher spot against Bedrosian, and we're going to be using... Man, Bedrosian's number is pretty good. We're going to be using a righty, but you don't really have a choice. I suppose it'll be Brasso in this spot. Man, a walk and a pass ball. Leon got all the way to second base, huh? Cool. Okay. Things are shaping up now. Pull this one out. Avoid an embarrassing bullpen implosion. There we go. Okay, well, we had a strange moth incident. I did get it on the high speed and took a couple pictures with my phone while we were sitting here too. So I guess it'll be public at some point, and you guys can tell me if you've ever seen a bigger moth than this. I have not. I am pretty confident. Okay, I'll see you over at Game 2 lineup screen, and then at the end of Game 2, we'll see some draft video. All right, you're at the start of Game 3. I dropped Game 2. It was not interesting. I just sort of slowly withered away. And so I imagine that I would have just moved right here in the editing process. It wasn't It wasn't great. It's now a little after 1 a.m., which hopefully will make this more interesting. I did have a few technical faux pas in the previous game. Those were not the reason I lost, but they could have been. They could have been. Thank goodness I was sort of saved by my roster flexibility. Just doing dopey 1 a.m. stuff. Trying to cram my games in, man. Julio Teheran. Fascinating career. Very much his own sort of pitcher. Did think at the time when he was a prospect that he was a little bit overrated. But he was so young and athletic and had moved so quickly through the minors at that time that I think I get it. But I just like guys with a breaking ball. All right. So we're going to start this one off with a bang, eh? I think I'm just going to play it safe. There's nobody out. Adam is in Peralta and Solak. Like, I feel pretty good about us scoring some runs here. Chapman for third. Winker throwing? No, not from left field. Let's see if I can put my feet up and maybe hold the mic. Trying to get cozy. The cats are now out. They have passed out after dealing with the moth. Which I'm kind of glad that no one killed an 8 because it was so big. And I can't imagine what kind of a moth that size, like what its insides are like. My cats kill grasshoppers and crickets and lizards, and I've dealt with their various organs, but never a moth this big. Masuda. Okay. Gave Kirk Casale the start in this one, the middle of the series, game 3. Get going. Casale's going to be my backup between now and the playoffs, and then he'll be my starter again in the playoffs. All right, finally got one. Okay. As we have the heart of the order hit here again in the second. Oh, well, I will let the next few hitters take you to a little bit of a break and see you at the next relevant decision point in this game. You're rejoining me bottom 6. Garrett Cole is due up second in this inning. We have a 2-run lead. We give up a solo shot to Rio Ruiz. in the 5th. And then we had Matt Chapman double, and then a David Peralta double that plated him in the 5th to pick that run back up. I want to say Cole's at about 90 pitches. Let's see. He's at 102 pitches. And he's through 6. The middle to bottom of the order, is due up. What's the upshot of me hitting here? I can piece together kind of whoever can pitch the next inning, right? It's the bottom of the order, so theoretically this should be like my last reliever should throw this next inning. And then I'm going to go at the top of the order with lefties, which I think in this situation probably means Taylor Rogers. And that gets me through the 8th. That's pretty good. Let's just do it. How many outs are there? 1 out. Yeah. What are the chances Brasso runs into one here? Against a righty. Probably about the same that Freddie does. Okay. So it didn't do anything. I wonder if it's foolish to remove Solak. We have a 2-run lead. It makes our defense better to remove him and leave Freddie Galvis at second base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means the pitcher spot is 6 spots away. I think I'm going to do it. Let's try it. And then, as I said, our last relief pitcher is going to go here. Who's been used less? Loisiga has. They're the same. I use Mills. So now I want to go Mills into Rogers into like probably Holder, or you can kind of pick Loizaga. Depends on what the score is. 2.5 innings from now. All right, really clean inning for Mills. Did they move guys around there with all these subs? Yeah, so Teoscar is going to lead off the next inning. So Mills, ideally, will start the next inning against Teoscar, and then I'll bring in lefty. We get Bedrosian again. He's been in all 3 games. All right, so a little bit more. Did I turn this around? Yeah. A little bit more space between us and the frogs. Does this sound like McConaughey? My voice is starting to get raspy. It's late. Been talking for a while now. Yeah. Nothing Rad's like a Lincoln. And then Royal Flush. Let's mirror my fingers together. Ooh. I clicked too fast. How do I? Yeah. Rogers. Rogers is just going to go this lone inning. Yeah. Right? Even though this is pretty stacked against. Okay. This is pretty stacked with lefties, so maybe you could argue he should go 1 and some change, but he's in the 2-hole next inning, so I'm just gonna hit for him. Okay. So Peralta's gonna face Bedrosian, and then we're gonna throw Brasso at him. Yeah. And then the pitcher spot is just going to be here again. This will be where the sub is made. Okay, now before, I just want to see, is there anything we can do to get better defensively? I guess Margot can come in. There might be a way to do that. That doesn't remove Marte from the game, just in case. Probably involves Galvis making the last out here, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to stick Margot here. He's going to be in center. Cathal Marte is going to kick down to second base, and then the pitcher spot is going to be where we hit last. In that Freddie Galvis spot, we are dealing with a lefty in Winker, a switch hitter in Tucker Barnhart, and then another lefty in Billy McKinney. Checking Barnhart's splits. He is worse against lefties. We've got a 3-run cushion, and we're bringing in a lefty. I could double up on Alvarado, who threw in game 2. So did Nuke, but he only threw 2 pitches. So, or Urquidy, who's got the changeup to deal with these guys, but I think it's just Newcomb. It may mean that he cannot pitch in game 4, but I think that's okay. I'd rather lock this one down. It is interesting to me that a lot of folks in this league end up with players from the same team or same couple of teams on their roster. Like, I do just have D-backs in Philly and like guys who have come through Philly. A bunch of them. And I've had more of those in the past. And now we're in trouble. So who's going to hit for Bedrosian here? I guess it doesn't matter. They're all scary. And we'll all be dealt with by a right-handed pitcher and not Newcomb. Oh my God. Duvall 744 last year against lefties. Yeah. Teoscar, and then the top. I just trust Urquidy more not to implode. Loizaga needs to throw, though. Like, the fact that he hasn't thrown is... If I don't have confidence in him to do anything, then why is he on my roster? Oh, no. Make a play. Oh. Yeah, we gotta throw him. What's up, Archie? Damn. I really don't want this one to go into extras, too. Only have so many innings, you see. Maybe we'll touch up Harlan Garcia here. Come on, J.A. Come on. Algorithm, J.A. Give me a dinger. Get down. Get down. All right. To extras we go. Man, Rikidi. Sorry, Arch. Do I want Rikidi's only thrown 8 pitches, so I'm gonna see how this goes to start off here. Man, all right. Great inning. All right, Rikini's done. Okay. Big Devers Day, 4 for 5. No. All right, big Kirk Casale time. Okay. So Tyler Austin's going to do... He's going to be in left field. Yeah. And then it is just the Loizaga time. It's unfortunate. I wonder if I mismanaged that. I really wanted Austin to hit that inning against the lefty with the winning run in scoring position. But burning him means that I'm essentially starting next half inning with 1 out because either it's the pitcher spot, so it's either a pitcher or Sandy Leone, which is basically a pitcher. Just based on how I've been naturally disinclined to use Loizaga, maybe I should just ride him for multiple innings. What if we tried to bunt? Urias is a poor third base defender. Let's see what happens. I'm trying again. It didn't go well. All right. I have a feeling we're going to win it right here. Maybe not right there, but now here. Okay, I think we got it. Nope. End. Yeah. Okay. We're up 2-1 heading into game 4. We are halfway through this series with the division leading California Red-Legged Frogs here on Yeoman's Work.
It was like at Little Wings or somewhere. That was a smaller venue. Alright, this is a spot I can put
Welcome back. After this game, I'm going to take you to more draft video. This will be from the high school showcase circuit last summer, in which you'll see several relevant draft prospects, and all the relevant info will pop up on the screen during the video, so you can see like who's who and where they're ranked and kind of what's going on. I'll try to condense as much time-sensitive stuff into the video portion of the show. But right now we're dealing with Tanner Roark. Roark traded to Oakland for Jameson Hanna. Middle of last year. H mean? Man, they really are throwing over there, aren't they? He's going to score. All right, Marte Speed with 2 outs, running on contact, scores on the double. You got an early 1-0 lead on the Frogs. Yeah, I feel like their lineup is more built to hit righty pitching, which is probably why they're leading their division. It's one of the weaker divisions. This team is pretty well constructed. The pieces move around pretty well. Duvall off the bench, hitting lefties. Oh my gosh. At home, when you can control more easily when those guys have an impact on the game, like, wow. You got a guy like that on your bench, come in cold and I really love that Ian Desmond and Teoscar Hernandez are bookending Jake Marisnik, who is like, if this were real, he'd be tasked with just covering the entire outfield. Let you enjoy the quiet action of the next half inning to an inning before we fast forward through time to November. I mean, until like the 6th inning or something. Okay, so I started the recording like about a half inning ago. And we were up by 5. Gave up a solo shot to Dansby Swanson here in the top of the 8th. Corbin's still going, only at 101 pitches. I think I'm going to pitch to Garver here. And then we'll see what happens at the pitcher spot. What you got? Rio Ruiz. Okay. Fine. Probably the last hitter for Corbin. Yeah, now it definitely is. So 4-run lead, bottom 8. Things are looking very favorable. Looking to take a 3-1 lead in the series. So as I said, next you're going to see some high school showcase video. Many prominent 2020 draftees. Don't ground into a double play, dude. Alright, fine. Great. Good, great, grand, wonderful. Scoring? I'm trying to score. Let's go, Freddie. Okay. So yeah, things are going well. I'm going to, I assume, skip you right to the high school showcase video here in short order, since this one seems pretty well in hand. If you see me again, it's because things have gone horribly wrong.